excuse everything messy about me today. I got up, I went to the gym, I worked out, I got changed because I was going to take my kid to the pool, but his brother decided to take him, so we're good to go, but I got to go to the grocery store in a few minutes. I really just wanted to touch on these charges that I got the other day because I know I posted like a quick update and didn't go into any detail, but I'm really ticked off about it. Considering the fact that it has been 8 months since I was originally charged by Officer Mills for obstruction. And if y'all remember, he says that I obstructed him because it says the accused continued to hinder Corporal Mills by telling occupants in the house to remain in the house after Corporal Mills told occupants to exit. The accused was advised she would be arrested for obstruction, yet she continued to stand in the way and hinder Corporal Mills while she called 911, refusing to comply. Right? So it sat there in state court for 8 months with the solicitor, who, you know, is a character all in of himself. We'll go into him like a whole another time. But I think he took a look at this and was like, you know what? For the most part, an obstruction charge has to be physical. And her saying something is not going to stick. So I got to come up with something to try to throw at her. And if this is not like malicious prosecution, like I don't know what is, because this is straight bullshit. But what he charged me with was, let me go back. Okay. So he said, or it says, I, Todd Hayes, Solicitor General of Cherokee County, in the name and on behalf of the citizens of the state of Georgia, do hereby charge and accuse Natasha Lee Lopez with a misdemeanor for that the said accused in Cherokee County, Georgia, on August 30th, did unlawfully then and there commit the offense of obstruction of an officer by knowingly and willfully obstructing Deputy Charles Mills, a law enforcement officer, in the lawful discharge of his official duties by failing to follow his lawful commands to remain on the porch during an active investigation in violation of OCGA 16-10-24, contrary to the laws of this state, the good order, peace, and dignity thereof. And then the second count, he said that did unlawfully then and there commit the offense of obstruction of an officer by knowingly and willfully obstructing Deputy Charles Mills, law enforcement officer, in the lawful discharge of his official duties by failing to follow his lawful commands to exit a residence in violation of OCGA 16-10-24, contrary to the laws of the state, the good order, peace, and I love how he said a resident. He didn't put in there her resident, or the fact that he went in it without a fucking search warrant or exigency. I don't know. Are you letting people show up to your house without probable cause or exigency or whatever they might need and just go into your house? I don't understand it. Like, it infuriates me. My home was not the scene of a crime. It was not under investigation. It was just by chance that my son even happened to be there for him to be able to obtain an arrest warrant. He did not have a search warrant to be at my home. He didn't even have a search warrant to be on my property once I revoked the right for him to be there and told him to leave and go get the right warrants. He didn't even get the right warrants. He got an arrest warrant for my son, and I was kind enough and thought I was following, you know, a lawful command by going and retrieving my son and letting him be arrested. But to charge me, I'm sorry, but you never detained me. You never told me I was detained. Nobody ever said anything about no active investigation. You can't just show up on my property and tell me what to do without a warrant or a crime that's been committed there, because none of that happened. And yeah, I'm really mad about it, because how are you going to change the charge completely and then turn around and charge me twice? Because Cherokee County likes to do that. They will double charge you. If you look at my son's charges, he's charged with felony fleeing and eluding ×2. I'm charged with this ×2. I just sat through another case in state court there for a kid that was charged with speeding twice, because he was charged with, the first one was 103 and a 70, and the other one was just like a speeding, and his attorney took it to jury trial you have to take speeding tickets to jury trial in Cherokee because they wanted to give him jail time, and there was no proof that this kid was going 103 and 70. It was just officer's word. So they took it to jury trial, and he was found not guilty of the 103 and a 70, but the jury found him guilty of a regular speeding ticket. A regular speeding ticket meaning, had he got this citation on the side of the road, he would have just paid a fine, got no points on his license, wouldn't even have to show up for court, and he would have went about his way. But because he evoked his right to a jury trial, it was like he was being punished for doing that, because when they found him not guilty of the 103 but guilty of speeding, y'all know what this judge gave him? Our state court judge gave him a day in jail, a year of probation, no alcohol or drug consumption. Mind you, the charge had nothing to do with alcohol or drugs. He's got to submit to random drug tests when they call him. He has to pay $600 in fines, $100 a month to probation and drug testing for the next year, 40 hours community service, and 2 driving classes for a regular speeding ticket. Okay? And so I would assume that's what they're trying to do here, hoping that I'll plea down and take a plea on one of them and blah, blah, blah. I'm not. Because your officer broke into my house without a warrant and without consent. You broke in on my kids. You broke in on my dogs. You violated me, my family, my rights. Like, I'm not taking a plea. I will take that all the way. I will take it to jury trial. I will take it to appeals all the way to fucking Supreme Court if that's what I have to do. Because I won't take a plea on it. And I feel like it really goes to show how dirty it is in this county. Because for a solicitor to look at this and not be like, this is bullshit, and just throw it to the side and actually just, fabricate something in order to charge me, either because he hates me or because he's friends with the sheriff's department. I don't know what the reason is, but he did it. It's just disgusting. It really is. It's really disgusting. So now, I've got to go and get this. I don't know if some of y'all remember when James White did an episode on his YouTube channel, Southern Draw Law, about the school psychologist and my son, my 9-year-old, the one that was completely traumatized by them. That whole conversation between my son and the psychologist had nothing to do with me, right? Besides the fact that my son was like, the police broke into my mom's house and she's going to sue them. But as far as I know, that's all that, was said to me according to the recorded portion or whatever. So when they filed this formal accusation, the first sheet has a whole list of their state witnesses, and it's a whole bunch of random cops. Half of them were here, half of them weren't. I would assume the other half had something to do with the fleeing and eluding. But then the regular people witnesses is my oldest son, his girlfriend, the school psychologist, and my 9-year-old son. Can somebody explain to me, and I feel like that's just a bully move, you're just trying to, again, get me to take a plea so that I don't, put my son through having to get on a stand and try, you're disgusting. You're disgusting. Because what is my now 10-year-old, what is he going to give you? You know what you're going to accomplish? More trauma. You're going to traumatize him. And if anything, it's just going to hurt you, because he's going to tell you exactly what your police officer did. And he's going to tell you how much he doesn't like them and what he witnessed and how he's a bad man, just like he said it on body cam. So, with everything being videotaped as it is from multiple angles, I don't even know why you would put my 9-year-old son down if it wasn't just a passive aggressive, chest move, threat towards me. And then the school psychologist, what the fuck does she have to do? And you left out 2 adults that were standing there with us that could have been whatever kind of witnesses. You left them out. But you put my 9-year-old son and a school psychologist on there? Why is that? Could it be because you saw how upset I was about that situation? How you guys traumatized him and then re-traumatized him because you're fucking sick? Probably. And I think this just goes to show, and if anything, it's just going to hurt you more, because it's going to show the community and it's going to show the citizens that this is how gross you are. This is how low you're willing to stoop in order to try to get whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish from this. But yeah, this is what I'm dealing with. And this is the fight that I'll have to fight before I will get any sort of justice. But understand that it's not just me in this county that deals with this. As I've come out and come forward, I've had so many people who have messaged me and told me their own stories, and I've shared a lot of those on social media. It's really bad. It's really deep. And I'm just going to continue to make videos, and I'm going to continue to take other people's videos that they share with me, and I'm going to continue to expose until the citizens start holding those elected officials accountable and start voting for somebody else and get them out of office, because this is not okay. It's really not. I'll have to, I'm going to make another episode or YouTube video at some point. There was an officer from Cherokee County who had went on one of my Facebook posts, and one of these ones that like went viral, and there were, of course, there were people who would say nasty things here and there, and anytime they would, I would click on the likes to like see who it was that was liking those comments. And a lot of the times it was a lot of local police officers, whether it be Holly Springs or Cherokee County deputies, blah blah blah, or their wives. And so there was this one officer in particular who just kept liking all these really nasty things about my son and about myself. So I was like, who are you? And I have some connections. So I took a screenshot and I sent it to a friend of mine, and I was like, look at this. And that person was like, you should pull internal affairs on that person, blah, blah, blah. So I did. And I only pulled it for the last year. And I'll have to go over, I'm going to read it to you guys and go over it. But apparently there was a woman deputy in the jail where he works, who had made several complaints about him touching her. And she's told him to stop several times. It's inappropriate. He makes women feel uncomfortable, blah, blah, blah. She's very upset. You know, leadership sustained those complaints, substantiated them, but took no further action, no disciplinary action, no anything. And guess what? He's still working there. He's still working amongst women. He's still working with women colleagues. He's still working in the jail with women. You know, Cherokee just had an officer who was sentenced a couple years ago for, I don't know, I think it was like sexual assault, sexual harassment. Like, it's just really, really, really gross. And for whatever reason, it's never been like brought to light, and people were not aware. And yeah, I guess they just stomped all over the wrong person, because now I just want to tell everybody. And I'm very glad that everybody comes to me and tells me their situation so that I can help spread awareness, because I feel like the more we do, the more pressure for accountability. So yeah, but I don't know. Let me know what you think. I just don't know how you can try to claim an active investigation at my home, and what lawful command there was to force me to stay on my porch.